Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird, then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey listeners, Katie here. I'm going to make this short because this is a late episode, like a week late. We recorded this originally last week, but the recording was unfortunately lost, and then we re-recorded it again last week on the same day, but the sound quality was really, really bad. So we explain it in full detail at the beginning of this episode. Heads up, this is a crazy episode. Like, Lonnie and I had the giggles so bad. It was out of control. We could not stop laughing. So, like, the first whole half of this episode is us giggling and, like, cry giggling. Like, it was crazy. Anyway, it was fun. It was funny. I laughed while I was editing it just now. Anyway, if you love this episode and you love to listen to our crazy antics, and you want to keep having episodes happen, there are a few ways that you can make sure that happens. Two Artsy Gals is a 100% listener-supported show, and we would like to keep it going always. So if you would also like to keep it going, you can support us in a few ways. You can donate money to the Two Artsy Gals podcast through our website, twoartsygals.com, and that can be, there's a little handy-dandy button that says donate. It's done through PayPal. And if you don't like to, we have a few listeners who dislike using PayPal. They don't really like their credit card stuff online. And one of them emailed me and asked me about that. And as you can understand, I don't always want to give out my address because my studio is my home studio. And you know, I love you listeners, but y'all are strangers, and my mom taught me about stranger danger. So you can go to the supermarket and buy a gift card, like a prepaid credit card, and then you can donate that way. You can do a one-time small donation, or you can even set it up for a monthly donation. Every little amount helps us cover our expenses that would normally be out of pocket to keep this free podcast going for you. You can also donate items from our Amazon wish list. We keep a list of stuff there that we would like to play with and talk about, but that we can't necessarily justify purchasing ourselves. So have a look over there, and anything is appreciated. So you can also, and it's very important actually, just to spread the word about the podcast. We understand if you can't afford to do it. Dude, I listen to like probably 30 podcasts. I can't monetarily support all 30 podcasts I listen to. So we just appreciate you spreading the word about Two Artsy Gals. Tell your friends, tell your family. It's Tripod Month, hashtag TRYPOD. So tell people about us and introduce your friends and loved ones to podcasts. A lot of people just don't know how they can listen to them, and you should show them because it's very simple. I'm going to give my uncle a lesson the next time I see him because he doesn't have a smartphone and he doesn't know how to do it. So I'm going to show him how he can. Let me see what else. You can follow us on all the social medias and tell people about us on social medias. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we are on Facebook, and we are on Pinterest. We're Two Artsy Gals in all of those places. And it makes it, social media makes it easy for people to share about us. We got to read a couple of really fun emails in this episode, and we love hearing from you guys. So please email us. You can do that at twoartsygals@gmail.com. Give us some suggestions or comments. One of our listeners emailed last week and asked us to do an episode on a topic, and we are planning it for next month. So please do. We read all the emails. If you don't want to email and you would like to call and leave us a voicemail, you can do that at 503-395-7190. That is our voicemail line. Leave us a fun message and we'll play your voice on the show. I feel like I'm forgetting shit. I always do. I probably am. But since this is a long episode and it is a lot to take in because we got crazy. It was just a real slap happy, fun, silly episode. And I hope that you all enjoy it. I'm going to let you get to it. Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Lonnie.
And you're listening to Two Artsy Gals. Yay! Woohoo! So, Lonnie.
Yeah.
Third time's a fucking charm.
Yeah.
With this recording.
We're going to do this and we're going to do it right.
We're going to do this and I'm not going to delete it or lose it. And I just looked to make sure it was recording right. And we're not going to, yeah.
Because sisters are doing it for themselves.
Right? Because we recorded this episode. So I accidentally deleted it when we recorded it last week. Like a week ago today. We recorded this
Always
episode.
Always read the prompts on your computer screen.
I didn't. Don't just click OK when your fucking computer asks you things. You should read what they say.
Yeah.
So I deleted it on accident, and then we decided, well, fuck, we'll just re-record it because Lonnie and I went to see Pussy Riot in Olympia, Washington last week, which is like what, about a 2-hour drive from here. It was a long ass drive, and
it
was
fucking rain,
pouring rain, like torrential downpours.
Yeah, of course.
Rush hour traffic for the better first 2/3 of our drive.
Every truck that could possibly be on the road.
All the semis were on there, and it was a murdery drive home.
Yep.
It was just a weird. Yeah. We recorded it on the way there in the car, and I tried really hard to filter out as much of the background noise as I could.
Oh, I knew it.
But
my car is so loud.
Well,
I don't
actually,
have a
you know
luxury
what was louder
vehicle.
than your car was the fucking rain beating on the glass.
Yeah.
Really, the microphone picked that sound up a lot.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty sharp sound.
I think sometimes I was not paying attention to where I was putting the microphone. So sometimes I couldn't hear you very well. Sometimes I couldn't hear me very well. So, yeah. Anyway, I couldn't put it out there. I kept thinking, like, what if somebody listens to us for the first time and they hear this podcast? Then they're going to be like, these guys don't have control over their sound. Yeah.
That stinging rain.
And then I thought,
it's killing me.
I always try to remind myself how things will sound with earbuds on. Because when I edit, I listen to it through my computer speakers. But someone once said to me, I don't know what we did. I think it was way back when Sharon was on the show. And we were doing something fairly regularly that someone said, dude, in my earbuds. Not awesome. So when I listen, I always try to think, oh gosh, what would this sound like through earbuds? Because then they're like in your ear holes. So anyway, I'm sorry there wasn't an episode last week. We were busy doing awesome things.
Yeah.
And we tried.
Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, sometimes shit works out. But Pussy Riot was fucking amazing.
It was so cool, yeah.
And we had a really fun drive up there and a really fun drive home, I feel like.
Yes.
Because
we talked so much.
And I think
we had to yell because of the rain.
And my throat hurt a little the next day because we were screaming. Yeah, we were yelling. But and I feel like I was keeping Lonnie entertained.
Yes.
So
for the long haul.
We were talking about I do feel like it's worth mentioning Washington State. You need to do some work to make that stretch of I-5 less murdery.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking dark. Scary.
Yeah, it's so dark and so scary.
And then I'm joking about it being murdery, and I'm like, look, that semi is probably full of sex workers that they're just murdering and sprinkling along the I-5 corridor because that's a thing that happens for real, you guys. And then Lonnie goes, what's this? And I'm like, what's what? She's like, oh no. I'm like, what? There was a fucking detour.
A detour.
They made us go off of I-5. And then we had to drive east away from I-5, which don't drive east into Washington. There's nothing there. So then Lonnie's like, I was like, this is fucking scary. Are our doors locked? Lonnie, unlock and relock the doors so I hear them, so I know. So I feel okay. We drove by this cow standing in a pasture, and I don't know if y'all have ever seen a cow in the dark, like just standing in the
Like a
pasture,
ghost.
but it's like a big, very formidable ghost. And I was like, ah! So we went by, it startled me. And then I'm like, Lonnie, this is scary. Anyway, she goes, fuck this. And she turned, and we started heading west again, and then
we made it back
because
to
we
the
were out of
freeway.
cell range while all this was happening. I should
Oh,
add,
God.
because we were live recording and then it got interrupted.
Yeah.
And so I hope you guys saw the live recordings that we did. By the way, they were on there. We were very silly.
Olympia is full of interesting smells and people.
Did you have smell weird things in Olympia?
Don't you remember there was like these juxtaposing smells, like this beautiful like essential oil blend that was kind of spicy.
That's right.
And
in
then
the,
like
in the
BO,
theater.
and
Yeah.
it would like
No,
and
it was
one nostril would pick up one.
Yes.
And one nostril
in
would
the
pick up
actual
the
show.
other.
I would
Yeah.
like to know what that oil blend someone was wearing was, because it smelled so
good.
fucking
So I kept
good.
wanting to smell that more, and then I'd get the
It was
other
right in my
and be
like little
"Ugh."
my spicy jam smell. Like I like cinnamon.
Yeah.
And, like
It was
that kind
really
of stuff was
nice.
really
A
nice.
little citrusy maybe
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
It smells a little bit like a blend that when Essential Oils was still open
I love
on Hawthorne, which it closed, and I'm so bummed. But I
Custom
used
lotions,
to do,
you guys. It was
yeah,
so
it was so good,
cool.
and you could go have them mix your own scents. And so I would do
Yeah.
this. I would do their orange vanilla cinnamon blend, but then I would add a couple drops of patchouli and a drop of ylang ylang to that, and it made this like super
Yummy.
sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very sexy smell.
That,
You can
like,
use it if
kind
you
of
want.
candle, but
Yeah, it was a good smell.
yeah.
But and it almost smelled like that.
Yeah.
Like whatever I was
Like
smelling.
a spicy
But it smelled like
candle.
it might have a little bit of clove
There's-
going on in it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was good.
Oh,
It was a good
man.
smell. But then again, there was some hygiene issues with other people.
I know,
in the
it was
building,
such
and it
an
was like-
interesting mix.
So you're like inhaling deeply because you want to smell whatever oil someone's wearing, and then you get like this wall of BO, and you're like, oh, I didn't want to smell that.
I had moments where I felt a little out of place because there was like these young, cool kids. They were really drunk while I was waiting for the bathroom.
We're the old cool kids, though.
That's true.
We already done that shit,
okay,
Lonnie.
I know, but they were just in that like
We
that
can
drunk
sit
where
back
they're
and
just
go,
cracking up.
oh,
you know,
I love that.
it was so cute. But then I was like, I don't want them to feel awkward just because I'm here. I'm not. I don't know. There's this weird. I have these.
You can
old
just
lady
give them
things.
like this knowing smile.
Yeah, like, oh,
You
yeah.
guys are having a good time.
Yeah, it was.
I've done that before.
Yeah. Like, oh, I remember.
That
Yeah,
was
how
funny.
funny the bathrooms were. Like, they
Yeah.
were always hilarious for some reason, just trying to go when you're in that state.
Yeah, I
Good
know.
times.
I feel like I always had clothing issues. Like trying
yeah.
to like
Remember those onesie things with the snap crotch?
yes, what the fuck were we wearing those
and
for?
then you go, bam, and it
And it
hits
hit you in
the
the
tooth.
face. One time when Sharon and I when I worked at Planned Parenthood, we went to we had our winter, like our Christmas party at OMSI, which you can rent part of OMSI out. They have banquet
Scott's
rooms.
work is doing that pretty soon.
And I wore this really cool dress, and I had garters on, like stockings with
Oh, nice.
garters.
Yeah.
But I was drunk, and I had to have Sharon help me get my garter attached again because it came off when I went to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
And so she's underneath my dress because she's also drunk. Her whole head's under my dress, and she's giggling, trying to do my garter up, and our boss walks in and goes, "What's going on, girls?" I'm like, "I my garter." Ah. And then we were laughing so hard. We were like, the only time you sit on a public restroom floor is when you're drunk and laughing.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't
Yeah.
do it sober.
No.
Anyway,
Good times.
we are talking about, I feel like our preambles are getting longer and
Sorry,
longer.
guys. We're just getting older. We were just
and
talking about this.
Also, if you're new
It's
to
a
the
thing.
podcast, we do talk about art. Like, I always worry
and those
that,
were
like,
all women's issues that we
they
just
were,
discussed.
they were, and we are talking like this. So this episode that we recorded last week was a timelier episode because International Women's Day
Yes.
was last week, and so we're going to be talking about our favorite female artists today. But we do have some other shit that I want to cover really quick first.
Okay.
First of all, the month of March is Tripod Month, as in TRYPOD, Try a Podcast. We're trying to raise awareness for podcasts, and we want you to get people turned on to podcasts.
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't have to be our show, but tell someone about a podcast and make them aware of podcasts. If you have friends or family members who don't know, they might know about podcasts, but they don't understand what they are, explain podcasts to them.
Just don't tell my mom.
Don't tell Lonnie's mom.
Okay, thank you.
She doesn't want her mom to listen.
I don't want my mom to listen.
If she's anything like my mom, she won't listen anyway.
Yeah, no.
My mom doesn't like that.
Oh,
Also, my
would take
mom,
notes and call
the
me
couple
and be
of
like,
times-
I didn't
see?
know you thought this way. Oh.
Yeah, and then there's a couple of things, like a couple times that my mom actually listened. She's like, Katie Ruth. And I'm like, what?
Don't even, Mom.
Stop.
Mom.
Stop. With the middle name. Shit, I'm 44 fucking years old. I don't need that
That's
crap
right.
anymore. But yeah, show people how to, because a lot of people don't listen because they don't know how they work. They don't know how to
Yeah.
do it. They don't understand that they have like this magical world in their phone
Yeah.
that they can connect to any podcast.
That's
And
so
there's so
cool.
many podcasts that are
The
like,
content is
of so many interests.
ending.
Like the subjects are, it's literally, you can find a fucking podcast about anything.
yeah.
About any, literally like cooking, art, obviously, about music, a lot of music podcasts out there,
Mhm.
about movies. I listened to one about Star Wars and different theories, and they talk about it.
Fascinating.
Shut up, Lonnie. No, I'm embarrassed.
Just kidding.
I listen to a lot of really dorky podcasts.
That's so funny. Don't be embarrassed. That's so
I'm
funny.
blushing right now,
You
aren't I?
are so hard.
Because I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. But today, Lonnie and I want to tell you about some of our podcasts, but we're going to tell you about our favorite female produced and hosted podcasts.
Yes. Are you going
You
first?
go
Me
first.
Before
You foofla.
Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. Okay, so I like a podcast called Two Dope Queens, and it's Jessica Williams and Phoebe Robinson, and they're really funny stand-up comedians, and they have guests, really funny guests. It's all like a comedy show in Brooklyn that they do, that they record live, and it's usually like
So they're
people
always
of
live?
color or well, they record it live and it's edited and stuff, but
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's always an audience. That's what I was.
yeah
I don't know what I just
it's
did.
funny, it's good. You should
That's really cool.
check it out.
And what are this? They just talk about like women's issues or
Well,
like,
it's
I mean, just like
stand-up
life shit, like
comedians.
funny
yeah,
shit.
so it'll be like a LGBT, someone from the LGBTQ community or a person of color, and but they're just doing their stand-up
They're
routine.
stand up. They're just.
Yeah, but it's good
I
because
gotta
it's
add that to
voices
my
you don't
list.
normally hear. You know, voices you don't always hear,
Mhm.
and they're really freaking funny. It's good stuff.
That's cool. I feel
I
like
it.
I want to let's do 2 each because we
Okay.
missed last week. So
Yeah.
I'll do one, then you do one.
Okay.
I'll do another one. I am going to recommend my favorite murder podcast. It's done by Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark. They're fucking hilarious. So funny.
Yeah.
And so this is the thing. I know people like, some people get weirded out about true crime shit, but it's a true crime podcast. But the reason I like it, and I know it's hard to imagine true crime being funny, but the way that they approach it and the way they talk about it, they make it a subject that you can talk about. And a lot of the crimes are against women. Like,
Mhm.
women are disproportionately, like, the rates of violent crime against them is so much higher than the male population. So, you know, like murders, rapes, like they talk a lot about this, but they talk about it in a way where it's making it an okay conversation to have. And yes, they joke about it, but they joke about it in never in a way that's like demeaning to the victims that they're talking about ever. Actually,
Mhm.
usually they make fun of like the people who are perpetrating these crimes, or when they hear it, because they'll usually tell like the background of the killer, and then they'll be like, warning, or like they're just fucking funny. It's hilarious. We're gonna see them live next week. Is it next
Yeah.
week already?
I think so. Yeah.
Lonnie is feeling very skeptical about it. I can tell,
I
but
just haven't listened enough.
I made her go. I'm making
Yeah.
her go with me to see
It'll
them
be
live.
fun.
It is going to be
Yeah.
fun. But anyway, it's a really great podcast. It's really funny, and they're super smart women, and they make me laugh.
Yay.
So, what is another one that you listen to?
Okay. Let's see. A woman one? How about, this is a different vein, but Tara Brach's podcast. She is an awesome Buddhist speaker, psychologist.
Oh, yeah.
Tara Brach. And I think that's just the name of the show is Tara Brach. And she just puts up her talks that she does weekly, I think in Washington, D.C. or something. But
that's another one that I've been meaning to subscribe to.
It's really good and really just...
Didn't we talk about that
good.
during the Awesome Talks project?
Yeah, that's right.
did.
Yeah, Elisade, I think, and because I'm a fan. Because it's cool that the Buddhism and psychology kind of intersect a lot and can really work well together for, to just get your mind in the right place. It's cool. And she'll do guided meditations on the things she talks
guided
about.
meditation stuff. Actually.
So she'll teach
Sometimes
you
I
all this
listen to
stuff and then
guided
be like,
meditators.
okay, now then the next episode would be a meditation on what
That's
you
awesome.
just heard.
I like that. I find it easier to meditate when it's guided, and I sometimes do that when I can't sleep at night. I have a few of those that I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome. You guys should check that out. Tara Brach.
Tara Brach. It gives me goosebumps now thinking about it. She did one about grief that was just so amazing. It just really she's just really smart, insightful lady.
That's cool.
Yeah, and she kind of cracks dad jokes every once in a while, which is I love.
I love dad jokes.
Yeah,
puns are my favorite thing in the world, right?
She's got some funny stuff. Yeah, it's good.
That's good. I think the other one that I'm going to talk about is Guys We Fucked.
Oh
Because
yeah,
that is the anti-slut shaming podcast. I am going to brain fart their fucking names right now. Why am I doing it? Corinne and see, I wasn't prepared. Anyway, they're both stand-up comedians, but the whole point see Lonnie's busting out her phone and
No, I'm not.
She's saving my ass.
See,
Okay.
this is the magic of radio. Nobody knows.
But it's
Nobody
not radio.
knows. Well, or whatever.
I can edit it out.
We're not wearing pants.
I actually have pants on. I made
I'm
sure to
just
put them on
kidding.
before you got here. I told Lonnie today I have to put pants on. Anyway, it's the anti-slut shaming podcast, and they're really smart women that talk about, and they have a lot of guests that talk about just their experiences in life, women dealing with their sexuality, and kind of not slut shaming. Like
Christina and Corinne.
Yes, that's what it is, Christina and Corinne. And they're very funny women. We saw them live here a while back, but it's just a great podcast. They bring women's issues to the table in a way that makes them easy to talk about, I think.
Yeah.
And they also, I think it's really important to normalize sex and sexuality. And I feel like the slut shaming shit has got to stop.
Yeah.
And they do a super job of that. And they're really informative too. You learn a lot. Like one of their guests recently was really, they had a guest recently where they're these two women who are working on a project about sexual violence on college campuses.
Yes.
Did you listen to that one?
Yeah.
They were in a documentary about it, but it brings these issues to the forefront and I think gives us talking points. And I like women who are fucking unapologetic about who they are.
Yeah.
Because that's the way I try to be.
Yep.
I have a vagina and I like to use it.
Yep.
So that's how they are. And it's great. Anyway, listen to those podcasts. And
yay women, yay podcasts.
If you want to tweet on or go on your any of your social media and do hashtag TRYPOD to tell people about your favorite podcasts and tell us about some women podcasts now.
Yeah.
Tell us about the podcasts that you like to listen to.
Yeah.
Because we want to hear.
I know.
Speaking of telling us about things, Lonnie, we have 2 emails.
Oh, yay!
We don't get email very often.
We got mail.
I'm very excited.
Mail.
So let's see.
There goes my voice.
I know. I'm a little bit phlegmy today. Sorry.
Yeah, no, pardon me.
So this came last week after we recorded this episode that we're now re-recording
again.
So,
and we're doing a great job so far.
We are doing a great job so far. Bang up job. High five.
Yeah, good job.
Boom. So we got, until I just knocked the fucking battery pack off my desk. We got an email from a woman named, I need new glasses. Caitlin Broom.
Hi, Caitlin.
And hi, Caitlin. And she says she loved our feather episode, and she's a graphic designer and designed a feather logo. She loves using them for crafts, and even though she doesn't often use feathers, she loves how fun and whimsical they are. I actually have an idea for you. Oh, I'm excited about this. She wants us to do an episode on steampunk. Cool. And I don't know why we have not done an episode on steampunk, but thank you for giving us permission to do so.
Steampunk like gear thingies.
I love gears. I've worked with them before.
Yeah, they're cool.
I like getting watch parts.
Yeah,
there's a few people that sell like little watch parts.
Yeah,
and I like to use them for things. But anyway, she says, let me see, Steam Sewed, because she thinks it's awesome. She's a jewelry artist and she specializes in steampunk jewelry.
Fun.
And she started this because she loves steampunk, and it's something no one else was doing at the time. But anyway,
I love it too.
Yeah,
she sent us pictures,
and they're really. She does really pretty jewelry, and we'll put it on.
Oh, is that a tree of life?
I know, the tree of life is pretty, isn't it?
Yep.
We will put those on our blog for this episode.
Thank you for that email.
She wanted to know what we thought of her jewelry, and we think
I love
awesome,
it.
And
it's really awesome.
But that was exciting, and thank you for the email, Caitlin, and thank you for the idea. And you can look forward to a steampunk episode here in the next month or so. Oh my
gosh, I love.
We'll plan it for April.
There's some beautiful steampunk stuff out there that just makes me like.
I love it, and I would like to really be into it, but the people who are really into steampunk are really fucking into steampunk.
I know.
And I'm really into so many things that I feel like I could not give my all to it.
I know.
And like there are so many people that do it better.
I have that thing too where I'm like a little intimidated by it because I'm not,
But I think it's awesome and I love it.
Yeah,
and you know me, I love doing like the maker builder shit. So like I love figuring that stuff out. So I'm excited to do that episode. And we got an email this morning that made me squeal and embarrassed me a little bit and made me so fucking excited. So last August we did an episode about velvet paintings, which is funny because I'm working on the velvet painting now, and I want to get it finished so that I'll have it done when this thing happens, because we got an email from Chris Henry, who was an artist that we talked about. He's a Portland artist, and we talked about him in August when we did the episode, and it's all, hey, I know that guy is the title of his thing. And he goes, and let me tell you, total a-hole. I love this guy already. He's so funny. He says, and I should know, I'm him. Hey there. I just looked at my poor unloved website for the first time in months and saw that a spiffy little blog tagged me. That was us. He called us spiffy.
That's so sweet.
He skipped around on the episode a bit. Likely we'll listen to more when I'm designing a flyer for pet portraits later. Gag. And I like your theme song. And all the parts I skipped. And how all the parts I skipped to weren't about art. Which, now I'm scared because we talked about some pretty awful things in that episode.
Vaginas.
We were talking about ghost vaginas and unicorn flesh shafts. Like, I had to listen to the episode this morning because I'm like, oh God, what did he hear? So, it was funny. He says, so I thought I'd drop y'all a line and let you know that I'm still alive. I mean, I'm currently looking for a regular job and scraping by on the above mentioned pet portraits. I don't want to blab too long, but check out my Instagrams. I'm going to follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's at The Art of Chris Henry and at Hello Chris Henry. And thanks for the tag. And if you ever want to have me on the show, I'd be down. I've been painting velvet for over 10 years and have a couple of mildly interesting stories about it. Even a couple about old Carl and Karen of the famous Velvetira. If nothing else, we could talk about the fucking pet portraits and how it's a low that a lot of artists hit. Keep on being cool and making stuff, especially with the glitter on it.
Oh my
Chris,
God.
total a-hole, Henry. That was the best email I've gotten in so long. And
what did you say? Mildly interesting?
Yes.
Oh
so
my God.
I have added him to
that
our
made me
list,
laugh
and I'm going to email
so
him
hard.
back. I'm going to flag this email right now so I don't
Thank
lose
you,
it.
Chris Henry, for the laugh.
It was great, and
Oh
I have
my
been
God.
really down lately,
Yeah,
so
me too,
this,
kind of like,
I kind of needed
I have not
this
laughed that hard in a really long
boost.
time. That was
And
good
so,
stuff.
yeah, that was very exciting. I was excited, and then I was embarrassed, and then I was like, oh my God, I've got to go listen to what we fucking said on that episode
Pet
to make sure that I didn't
portraits,
say
gag.
anything. That's funny because I do have a lot of artist friends that do pet portraits to kind of
Yeah.
make the bucks between. So that's really hilarious. But
Do you hide dicks in them?
Lonnie just totally took me off guard. I would love to see a picture of the face that I just made. Because I'm all tapping my paperwork, like getting ready to start, like moving forward with the topic. And she's all, do you hide dicks in them? And I opened my mouth and nothing fucking came out. But you know what would be awesome? Somebody needs to start doing pet portraits and hiding dicks in them. Like in the little reflection of the nose. Or the little reflection in the eyes. Just a little dick.
Or just like the person taking the pictures.
You know what my favorite thing in the world is? This is totally off topic, but I love it when people post pictures of shit on eBay and don't realize that there's a reflection. So you like always see the ones of like the old man standing in his fucking baggy chonies taking a fucking picture of their dining room table, and it's like his reflections in the picture hanging behind. Oh my God, what is wrong with us? I know my face hurts. Okay. If you can see, like, my dog is laying in the hallway sleeping, but his eyebrows are all like, like, what the fuck are they doing in there?
Okay, I needed a good cry.
Okay, so that was 26 minutes of nothing having to do with our
Everything
topic.
awesome.
But so
I
guys,
skipped around and it rarely what rarely talking about art.
we're trying to pack all the art into one section of this episode. I've been trying to swallow that drink of fucking fizzy water I took for like a fucking long time. Okay, Lonnie, we have to start talking about our favorite female artists now. Okay, I'm gonna go first.
Okay, or I was gonna.
I don't know
read a
why
thing.
I'm arranging my eyebrows. I feel like they've been mussed up. Wait. Okay, let's Rochambeau for who goes first.
Oh no!
Ha!
Oh,
Scissors! I get to
you
go.
read my mind.
I did. I'm creepy like that. Okay.
But I wanted to read a thing.
Oh, read the thing first. That's right. You had a thing that you wanted to read.
I can find it. Where did it go now?
Lonnie cannot find the thing that she wants to fucking read.
I got it.
She's
but now
got
I
it.
don't know. I'm not ready. Go.
Okay, fuck. She's got to get her shit together.
I do.
Stop laughing.
Okay.
Because I'm talking about Jen Warden now, and she's going to be mad if you laugh while I talk about her.
Okay.
Probably not. She'll probably think it's funny.
Probably
But-
has a sense of humor.
She has an awesome sense of humor.
I thought so.
So, my first favorite artist I want to talk about, first lady favorite artist that I want to talk about is Jen Warden. And Jen Warden is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her. She's my personal friend.
Aww.
But also, she is an incredible mixed media artist. She does mixed media artwork and assemblage. I just can't even fucking tell you how much I love her work. She's always doing crazy textural stuff, like she's been doing a lot of work with plaster and wax. I don't know why Lonnie's laughing again. I'm not doing anything funny. I swear. Lonnie's like going back to our earlier conversation and getting the giggles again. I'm just gonna keep fucking talking while you get it together over there. She does a lot of work in plaster and wax right now, and the texture is just, I love texture. Texture is my jam, so it's beautiful. But her assemblage work is also always stunning. And she also, I called her, what did I call her the other day? I couldn't remember what it was, but it was like I called her a magical Canadian wood pixie or something the other day, because she fucking, okay, not only does she do things like, I'm gonna learn how to make cheese, so she now makes her own farm cheese.
That's awesome.
She was harvesting maple syrup.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck does that? Other than awesome fucking Jen Warden.
Yeah.
And you should follow her blog, jjwarden.com, and we're gonna have websites for all of the artists that we talk about today. I'm lucky enough to have a piece of her artwork on my wall, which is hung in a place of prominence in my living room. And also, I've been involved in a couple of swaps with her, so I can go through these swap books, the round robin, like altered books and art journals that I've done, and see Jen Warden's art all the time.
Aww.
It's amazing, and I love it. And she's amazing. And you guys should look at her stuff.
Yes.
Are you ready now?
I think so.
I'm trying to be all serious and calm. Well, are you ready now?
I am. And when you were talking about texture, I wasn't thinking about secretly hiding
Dixon things.
Yeah.
That would make neat texture, though.
It would. Okay. See, I'm mature. I can do this.
You're mature.
I think that there was one that I talked about called Oleg, and she's a street artist, and she crochets like a mad woman.
She does amazing crochet.
She English. Sorry. She yarn bombed the bowl on Wall Street.
Yes, and you've all seen that. That goes around Facebook. It makes the rounds every few months or so. I notice it again.
She does these huge installations, and the colors she uses are freaking awesome, and I just...
Oh my god, they're so colorful.
Yeah, I love it.
And I wish I could crochet as...
She must be so fast. I mean, her stuff is huge sometimes.
Well, I think she probably works on it, and then sews it on to
the
thing. But still, she's crocheting it on there pretty fucking quick.
And she does some really funny stuff with, she puts words in it and stuff, and it's, hilarious little poems. And
she has a pretty cool website that you can follow what she does. So we're going to list that. Yeah, I got to get a Kleenex. Holy shit.
All that crying we were doing earlier.
Do you need one too?
Yeah, thanks.
My nose is running because I was laughing so hard I was crying. Yeah, Oleg, and it's O-L-E-K. Is that how it's spelled?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to read your thing yet? Or do you want to read it at the end?
Well, it was a funny thing that the Gorilla Girls did. Because I was thinking about when we were going to do... We didn't really talk about last time we recorded this, kind of like maybe the struggles women might come up against as a female artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I think things have gotten a lot better. But in the 80s, they were really struggling with
thanks
trying to
women like the Gorilla Girls.
Yeah, they're making an effort to be like, hey, we're here and we deserve just as much, accolades as the men do.
Yes.
And we are just as awesome as they are. Hello. But so they made this kind of funny, snarky list called The Advantages of Being a Woman Artist. Okay, here we go. Is this okay? If I throw this in
go
here?
for it.
Okay. Working without the pressure of success. Not having to be in shows with men. Having an escape from the art world in your 4 freelance jobs. Knowing your career might pick up after you're 80. Being reassured that whatever kind of art you make, it will be labeled feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not being stuck in a tenured teaching position. Seeing your ideas live on in the work of others. Having the opportunity to choose between a career or motherhood. Not having to choke on those big cigars or paint in Italian suits. Having more time to work when your mate dumps you for someone younger. Being included in revised versions of art history. not having to undergo the embarrassment of being called a genius and getting your picture in the art magazines wearing a gorilla suit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. And that is, I guess we should kind of touch on why we thought it was important to talk about female artists.
Mhm.
And this is part of the reason, like, I mean, I bet you right now, if someone were put on the spot, they could list 20 fucking famous male artists off the top of their head.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even if you go as far back, like, there were surely, I mean, I know about them because I've read about them and studied about them, but there were surely female artists during the Renaissance that they weren't even fucking allowed to be, like, famous.
Yeah. Yes.
We remember Michelangelo.
Or they
We
work
remember,
in
you know,
famous artist sweatshops pumping out,
for the big
reproductions.
artists too. So yeah. We remember Picasso, we remember Warhol, we remember all these famous male artists, but it's, you have to think to come up with a female artist.
That's what was hard for me when we first were like come up with a list of famous female artists, and it was kind of like, oh shit, why wouldn't 5 names just instantly pop into my head? But they didn't, and I was kind of like, that's weird. Like, it was weird.
Like, we think that female artists should also be household names.
Yeah, I do, definitely.
While we're talking about,
I'm like, I should know just off the top of my head.
And also,
like,
because I feel like, especially right now in this time in our world, like, women should be holding each other up.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's funny because I do a second podcast that's a monthly podcast called The Awesome Talks Project. And this month's topic is going to be kind of about that, like Mean Girls, and about the struggles women have and what we do to each other when we don't fucking hold each other up.
Yeah.
So this is kind of our artistic act of holding our female artists that we admire up.
And things have gotten better, but there's always
room for improvement.
Even better. Yeah. I mean, it's a bummer we can't change history, but maybe, I mean, those things will come to the surface eventually, and, you know, hopefully
they will.
Yeah, those women will get their due. I can't.
Do you want me to do my next one?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm so confused about the order that we're going in.
I know. That list messed. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I actually like that list. I was looking forward to it. And that is funny.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about another personal friend of mine. Not all of these artists are my friends, I swear. But these are just some of these women that I have the pleasure of doing art with are people who inspire me and want to make me be a better artist. And working with them has helped me gain more confidence in my skills and feel a little bit better about putting my stuff out there. And Cindy Cooling is an amazing artist who has done that for me.
That's so great.
Also, she does ceramics. I love her ceramics.
I love it. Yeah.
I went to visit her a couple years ago and I got to play around in her ceramic studio. And I'm planning to visit with her again soon. And Cindy, if you're listening, I have a thing I want to do. So get out your fucking clay. That's all I'm saying. But she also does what is wrong with me?
I was doing the same thing.
Altered books and journals. She does a lot of artist trading cards. And her work is always really vibrant and bright and colorful, which I love.
I love the faces
the bright colors, and she does awesome faces, and her skulls are my favorite.
Yeah.
She really likes Day of the Dead type things, and like the Lotteria artwork and stuff. So she brings, even when she's not doing stuff that's a tribute to those, she brings the color and the liveliness of that artwork to what she's doing.
Yeah, it's so great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. And she also does, I was going to show you, she does raku firing. It's a different method. I'm going to grab a piece of artwork. I also am lucky enough to have art from Cindy on my walls and in my swap stuff, but she made this one for me for my birthday a few years ago. It's this tile, and it's a special way of firing clay, but it's
That is awesome.
Yeah. She's an amazing artist. And I'm
That's really
again,
cool. Is that stamped or carved?
I think she carved it, but she also makes
Wow.
stamps
Yeah.
that she then uses on
On
her. That's
her-
her artwork. I'm pretty sure she carved
Yeah.
it. So, but yeah, it's amazing work. And I know she sells
really
some stuff on
cool.
Etsy, and I know that during the holiday seasons, if you're in the Sacramento area, she does a couple of holiday ceramic shows.
Lucky people down there.
Yeah, so I will get information from her about that, and when I post her information on the blog, you can access that there. And also, I know, because look, I know how many people go to our blog. Like WordPress has our little chart that says how many people have been on the site, and I know that not a lot of people look at it, but I would encourage you to go to our blog post for this episode at twoartsygals.com, so that you can see. We're going to have a list of all these artists with their links to their websites, because you're going to want to see this work. Like Cindy's, the work's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
So what is your next artist? Do you have another one?
I do. My friend Trisha Beck.
Oh,
I
yes.
haven't seen in a while, but she is an awesome painter, and she does like a lot of nature scenes. She loves clouds and painting the sky, and so like on branches against the sky, and like it's just very
It's just a lot
colorful.
of like the stuff in silhouette kind of almost.
Yeah. Really colorful, really pretty, and she has a booth at our Saturday market here in Portland, and so she's making a living off her art, and it's really amazing.
And
she
it's
makes prints
funny
and magnets, and
when
it
Lonnie was
sells.
telling me about her, and I was like, really? She's at Saturday Market? I wonder if I know who she is. And then she showed me a picture, and I was like, I always gravitate towards that booth because the
Her
colors
colors,
draw me in there. They're like, hey, come look at me.
These
So
are your colors. And she has a Facebook page called Red Parasol Productions, and her stuff is great. You should check it out.
that's awesome. And again, what's her name again?
Trisha Beck.
Trisha Beck. And so people who are in Portland know about the Saturday Market, and they're like, yeah, but if you're visiting Portland,
Yeah.
I recommend that you visit between March and December when our Portland Saturday Market is open. Sorry, I'm trying to put my hoodie on really quick. And go down on Saturdays and Sundays. It's open all day downtown Portland, and you can see all kinds of amazing local artists.
Yeah, there's fun
as well
stuff down
as
there.
Trisha Beck.
Yeah.
So do it.
Yeah, do it.
Hold on.
Come on up to
Portland.
Portland, Oregon.
You should visit Portland anyway.
Yeah.
But then go home, okay? My next artist is Jane Spakowski. I don't know her personally, but I
Yes.
do. I follow her on Facebook. And we're friends on Facebook. She's from the Pacific Northwest also. She's
Yes.
up on Vashon Island. And she does, excuse me, she does amazing mixed media portrait work. And I don't normally, like, portraits are not something that I normally gravitate towards for personal art that I would like to own. I, of course, admire portraits of all levels and all methodry, but Jane's art, her portraits are fucking stunning. And I love them. She often uses like the plight of women as the subject matter of her portraits. She does a lot of mixed media layering of like pretty papers underneath them and then painting over them. And she sometimes, sands some of the paint away or lets some of the paper shine through.
Pretty.
And they're all just incredibly stunning. And I also know that Jane's work is available on a couple of art, like, I don't know if it's art.com or prints.com, one of those. I'll find it and list it though.
Okay.
So if you can't afford one of her original works, you can buy prints. And I did
Nice.
notice, I was looking on the website the other day, and you can even have prints printed on canvas,
Oh, nice.
which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like doing that.
Yeah.
So through this website, and then if you use these websites, Jane's getting her cut of, like, it's going to her, the money, the profit of it. So, because I don't like that when you Like some of them are pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
Like some of those websites, like especially if
steal
you're
art and
like,
then-
look, if you're ordering shit from, be really careful from like Cafe Press or any place like that. Like make sure it's the actual artist
Mhm.
who's selling it and not someone who's just
ripped off
because
their
that's
art.
happened to Cindy before.
Oh.
Someone just used their artwork and was selling shit with that on there.
Oh,
Like so, just make
man.
sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jane Spakowski, her dad was a famous artist too. He did seascapes and landscapes and
Awesome.
nautical paintings, and you can see his work at the Maritime Museum in Astoria.
Nice.
They have a whole wall of his work with a little plaque commenting on the work that he's done. But you are going to want to check out Jane's portraits.
Yeah,
because
they're beautiful.
There are a few that, like, every once in a while she posts one that makes me cry a little because I want it so bad. And it's so, they just really resonate with me. Like the mood of her work. It's great work. You guys are going to love her. Go check out her website.
Yes, it's good stuff. So I was going to talk about my friend Tash.
Oh,
Swami.
yeah.
And I always hope I say that right. So sorry, Tash. I've asked her on Facebook, like, how do you pronounce your name? And she's like, however you want. So funny. She's
That's
funny.
Does Tash listen?
Yeah, sometimes she
Awesome.
does when she's working. That's so cool.
Yay.
And she does a lot of Zentangle drawings that are just great. I actually bought one of her originals, which was so fun to get this beautiful package from Scotland because she lives in Scotland. I think she was raised in Bristol, England.
And she's Italian, right?
Yeah, and she's Italian, so she's a lady of the world.
She's got some culture.
Yeah, she does. It's awesome. And she's really funny. I love her Zentangle drawings, and she's also now doing some ceramics and stuff. I guess she's teaching ceramics.
Oh, cool.
And she has a Facebook page that is called Violet Sands Studio. It's VIOLETSANDS Studio. So you can see some of her work there, and it's just so great. She's just a great illustrator and artist. I like it.
That's great. And I know I keep fucking saying this, but I'm going to swear it right now. I will figure it out. I'm going to be out of town this weekend, but next weekend, I'm going to figure out the software that I need to use to record our Skype interviews because Tesh has agreed to be interviewed for the podcast.
Yeah,
and I've been meaning to for so long, but we just have this.
Yeah, she did these for a wedding gift, some of her ceramics.
Oh my gosh, those are amazing.
Yeah, she's super talented, and I guess she's a really good cook too. I mean, she's always talking to me about these things she's making, and I'm just like, can I come over for dinner?
Yum.
Yeah, I think she's a trained chef and just all around awesome lady.
That's great. And again, toartsygals.com, we will list all of these. We'll have a little directory of everyone that we talked about today. So I'm going to take a minute to talk about Jessica Jocelyn. Jessica Jocelyn does, oh my God, I dream of owning an original piece of her work. So she takes animal bones, like little animal skulls, and I think that a lot of them are casts of skulls. Like she will like find a skull, or people find skulls, and she'll do a cast of them, or people give her remains of like pets or whatever. She uses those and then and taxidermy eyes. So they're the big shiny glass, real glass eyeballs that she puts in there. And then she uses vintage and antique brass hardware from old lamps or like hardware fittings around the house. And she cuts the brass and the it's brass that I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot of different metals too.
Yeah.
They're not just brass. But she'll cut those up and like piece them together. So basically she's making a metal and bone reconstruction of these animals, and they're shockingly
embellished with
and they're like
beautiful-
just all the filigree and stuff, and they're just amazing and whimsical and wonderful, and I want my house full of them all the time.
Yeah.
They're stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her work. And she...
Some of it's so delicate.
Mhm,
And
so delicate.
Yeah.
Like, she did this bat with leather wings
Oh, so
that takes my
cool.
breath away.
Yeah.
The turtle is
Yes.
fucking stunning. Like,
Yeah.
everything that she does, every time I see something, I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
how is that so cool? Like, and I know she's had shows in New York, a couple shows in New York.
Nice.
So I will list her website and her Facebook on our website for you guys, but you have to check it. Like, if you're into bones
Mhm.
and art that's a little unconventional, like I am, you're gonna fucking love her.
Yeah.
She's just, you're gonna love her. Check her out.
Yeah.
What about you, Lonnie? You got someone else? for me?
Another this one, she's a sewist, I guess you would call her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Catwise. And she makes like these beautiful recycled sweater coats. They're just amazing. They're rainbow, they're twirly, they're like, and everything about her, she like lives and breathes art. I mean, like her
It's very
home,
whimsical and
yeah, is amazing. And I think there's some videos on YouTube that she gives you a little tour of her house, and it's so fun and so awesome. And and her spirit is really just cool. Like, yeah, I want to be her friend.
And my favorite thing about the sweaters, I keep saying this every time we've recorded this episode, is like the hoods on the sweaters are always like long, skinny, pointy
Yeah.
hoods, and they're like make you look like a cool little pixie person.
Yes, and she actually sells tutorials on Etsy of how to make these amazing coats with your own recycled materials.
That's awesome.
So you go to the bins and buy a pile of old sweaters and make something freaking amazing.
You know what? So I had an idea actually earlier
Amazing.
today thinking about this person
Yeah.
and Catwise, but I was also thinking, because Lonnie and I are really into sewing knits lately.
Mm-hmm. She uses a serger for all her
Yeah,
stuff.
I think that we should do a trip to the bins and find a bunch of shit, and that we should do an episode on upcycling
Yeah.
clothes that we find in the bins. So we'll
Mhm.
record ourselves at the bins, like do a little live recording, and then do an episode about what we make out of the clothes that we find.
Yeah.
Won't that be fun?
Yes.
We should do that for real.
I know.
And there's
I've
a
been wanting
bins by
to.
the Million store.
I've been having, actually, I used to. That's so funny because years and years ago, I used to fantasize about making my own recycled fashion, like taking clothes and piecing them together. I don't know, like
Because we're children of the 80s, and
putting
we watched
rainbow
Molly
sleeves
fucking
on your
Ringwald.
T-shirt, or you know,
Yeah.
like cute stuff like that.
That's what got me into sewing, was Molly Ringwald in Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, stuff
Making
like
shit
that.
cool.
Yeah, taking what you have and being like, I don't like this anymore. I'm gonna spruce it up.
Totally.
It's good
And
stuff.
that's what Catwise does.
Yes, she does. In the most awesome way. Yeah, it's good stuff. I like it.
Hey, too. I'm going to talk about Serena Brewer
Okay.
really quick. She is the rogue taxidermist.
Ooh,
And
yes.
I love taxidermy. I love vintage taxidermy. And I also love shit like back in the circus and sideshow days, they would have these things called gaffs. So there would like be like the Fiji mermaids, and like they're not real creatures, but they've been taxidermied to look like
Yes.
a real creature. So they've merged like two creatures together. So
Mhm.
this is kind of what she does, only like next level shit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like my favorite thing is that it's like a goat with a unicorn horn and a fish body, and I
Yes.
fucking love it. It's called
Yeah.
what is it called? Capricorn, I think.
Capricornus or something.
Yes,
I don't know.
it's stunning. But she also does. She does like her website. Every time I go to her website and I'm like, I think that
Yeah.
it can't get any cooler, and then it just gets fucking cooler.
Yeah.
Like, and she has I almost said unicorn bust. That's not what it is. A zebra bust that she dyed the zebra for pink, hot pink.
Yeah.
Or she has like little chicks that she's dyed different colors, or like squirrels that she's put in funny poses. Like, they're awesome, and it's beautiful art, and it's so hilarious. And
the panda squirrel.
The panda squirrel, yes. Like,
I like the panda squirrel.
you guys need to check it out.
Yeah.
her work's pretty fucking, it's fun.
Yeah.
And again, I want a bunch of it in my house. So
Yeah.
I really need to work on the lottery thing.
Yeah.
Or, something.
Yeah.
So
Or
I
start
have all
doing
the
your own
monies.
taxidermy. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought about that. But I think that other people do it better than I could.
Yeah. I think it's a skill. It's a skill.
Also, my husband told me that I couldn't have a thing of those worms that they use to
oh, yeah.
or the beetles that they use to eat the
Mhm.
flesh off of bones. He
No
says,
go.
nope, please don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He's kind of squeamish.
Yeah.
That's the way he is. What, do you have another artist?
Yeah, I remember talking about Bjork, but I mean, everybody knows Bjork.
Yeah, but Bjork does cool shit.
She does really cool shit.
But it's funny because I really, really, really want to like all of Bjork's music, but I like very little of it.
I like it,
I-
but you don't have
some of
to.
it I like,
understand.
But I love
I
her.
understand.
I love her as just an artist
She's like a living,
and who she is.
Yeah, she
and I like
lives
some
art,
of her music.
You know, yeah.
Just some of it makes me also want to ice pick my ear holes. But
and her love of nature and how she puts that into her art.
Mhm.
And yeah, I
love her music videos.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
always really
and all
crazy
of her
and
costuming
artistic.
and like she's a creative force.
A
That
few years
lady.
ago, my friend Liz, they do this it's zombie prom
Oh yeah,
in town, and she goes to that every year, and every year has a theme. And so she went as zombie. One was like the whatever award ceremony that Bjork wore the swan dress
I love
on.
that. Yes,
I made her the swan dress
nice.
so that she could be zombie Bjork in a swan dress, and it was
Wow.
awesome. I have pictures of it somewhere.
Did you make the swan a zombie too?
I don't remember. I don't think we did. I think it was just she was a zombie
Nice.
Bjork. It was really awesome though.
That is rad.
Our last artist that we're going to talk about today is Chloe Giordano. Why do I fucking do this? Giordano.
Giordano.
She's a fiber artist, and
I
she does
love
embroidery
fiber.
that
Yes.
makes my head just explode every
Yeah.
time I look at it. I follow
Mhm.
her on Instagram. Her embroidery is stunning. It's
It is.
so she does these incredibly, insanely detailed little animals that she has hand embroidered. I think she's probably using pretty high quality like silk embroidery floss. And you can see on her website, she posts, and on her Instagram also, she'll take pictures of things in progress.
It's
And she'll have,
amazing.
like,
her process.
10
How-
different fucking needles
Yeah.
and with different colors going, and she just layers in the fur. She's using what's called long and short stitch to fill.
Beautiful.
And I can't fucking believe how she even like the different shades of fur and the contours
Mhm.
of the body
yes.
of these little animals are so fucking detailed. You almost for 1 second think, is that a picture
Yeah.
of an animal? So that's mind-blowing just in
Yes.
itself. But then she'll post, oftentimes when she's completed something, she'll post a picture with her thimble or a coin, like a quarter, beside it for scale.
Yeah.
And you realize that not only is she capturing this detail, but she's fucking doing it in miniature. Like
yeah.
the teeny tiniest and possibly most delicate little animals. And I don't even know how she gets the detail.
Yeah.
It's just stunning.
It is.
It
It's
makes me
so
really
beautiful.
feel like I need to step up my fucking game a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if she was taught to do that as a child.
Oh,
Has
and
she been
must
doing it her
have
whole
an
life?
Illustrating
Like,
background.
yes,
'Cause
I think she
really
does.
knows how
She does
to-
the illustrations.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't know this until I went to her website and was researching a little bit about her for this episode. She has done book covers. So she embroiders
Yeah.
the whole book cover,
That's so
and then they
cool.
take a picture of the embroidered book cover and use that as the book cover. And I think some of them she's just done for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
But her lettering is fucking on point.
perfect.
Like it's
Yeah.
fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like I am just like, how?
Yeah.
Like, because my lettering always looks horrible.
Mine
Especially
too.
when I'm trying to embroider something in cursive.
Uh-huh.
I can't quite get those corners
Yeah.
to go smoothly. So it's very frustrating.
Yeah. No,
But-
her stuff is awesome. I just thought of this. I wonder if the author gets the original embroidery or who gets the,
I don't
the
know.
original that was photographed. That'd
I
be
don't know,
cool.
but it's
It'd be
fucking.
cool if the
and
author
I
got
also,
it. If I was the author, I would want it and I would hang it up.
it
I
makes
would-
me
I
want
would
to.
pay handsomely.
Yeah, it makes me want to find a book cover that I really, really like and try to embroider it just because.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of cool book covers, and
Like a
obviously
Harry
with a
Potter
book
one?
that I really enjoyed. Also, I don't know, but anyway, those are our artists, you guys.
Yeah.
Go to twoartsygals.com and look at
Look at all the great stuff.
all the great stuff. We'll have links to every single artist we talked about today, and also remember to share podcast. #tripod TRYPOD, and also remember to be fucking nice.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to talk about sculpture.
And if you want to
As soon
send
as I
us
get
a
done
fun
burping.
email like Chris did, you could do that
Yeah,
too,
dude, totally
'cause,
send us a fun email.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I think we kind of enjoyed that.
We did, but Chris is funny too, so make your fucking email funny if you want us to laugh that hard.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, next week we're going to be talking about sculpture. So until then, go make some cool shit, yo.
Do it now.
Now, like right now.
Now, bitch. Just kidding. Good morning, Katie. This is your friend. I'm recording on the new Tascam. I'm trying to figure out what the buttons do. But every once in a while, I take a break to poo.